There.
All right. Let's see. We are
Hey guys,
good.
welcome to The Divide every Monday at 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. I am here with my man Marcus C. Williams, and I'm Brian McKenzie. And Marcus,
Hey.
kick this show off.
Let's get this going. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, to The Divide. You're listening to Marcus C. Williams and brother Brian McKenzie. We are here on WRFZ 106.3 Rochester Free Radio. We are here delivering you a voice in your ear with all of that type of stuff that you don't normally hear, because we're here to talk about the topics that are very important that don't often get discussed. Because what we see nowadays is so much is happening in the world, but so many people are not only self-censoring, the information that they're getting is very, very curated. They're scared to speak up. They're scared to stand up. And we are here to encourage you. Do not be afraid to have those hard conversations. Do not be afraid to say, hey, I believe that we should do this, or this is a better path forward. And we have to have these conversations. If you are following us online right now, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Hit those thumbs up, hit those hearts. Let's make that happen. And definitely hit share. We appreciate you so much for listening and letting us rap in your ear. So let's kick this show off right. Brian, man, what is going on in the world today?
I just want to touch on what you said about that the information, because you hear right now, closer to the election, you're hearing more people who are uninformed about politics say some ridiculous things. And, you know, I was always afraid to say, I'm not going to talk to this person about it, let them have their opinion. But, you know, if you talk to people and explain issues and actually give them the truth, a lot of them are more willing to listen to it than I thought. So, you know, that information that's watered down or completely wrong sometimes, especially the Project 2025 stuff, things like that. If you talk to people about it and explain the situation, you know, some of them will listen. Some of them are going to tell you to go to hell, but some of them will listen. And,
That's too true.
And same with the local thing. You know, you hear a lot of misinformation. I hate that word, but you know, coming from Jeremy Cooney's camp and Mom Meeks and Harry Bronson and all these people, you're hearing a lot of things that all of a sudden they say they agree, you know, with fighting crime.
Listen, hold on. Because I've been out knocking doors and stuff like that, right? So somebody, I was talking to somebody earlier, and they're like, "Oh, everything that they've been against, now all of a sudden they support it. What is going on here?" But this is what happens, because it's just them playing in your face. It's just them playing in your face. And what they're doing is they're making sure that they're able to get elected. That's all that it is. Exactly. That's all that it is. You know, because it's election time. Where have they been? Where have they been for the last 4 years? You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, exactly. 100%.
Well, this is the second time they're all running for Cooney, Meeks running for re-election. Sarah Clark, Lunsford, Summer Brook.
Yes, Summer Brook.
I'm missing somebody. Somebody's getting Harry Bronson. Harry Bronson been in there for 25 years.
Right.
Well, I don't know how long he's been. If I'm wrong, I'm not right on that. I'm being hyperbolic, but I think he's been in there for almost 12 to 18 years already.
And Sarah Brock and them, they got elected, remember, during the 2020 hype of defund the police era, and they were all for that. That's when they got elected. You know, things have changed. Things have not changed, but people's minds have actually come around to common sense, and all of a sudden they're a little more right wing.
Well, it's not even that anybody's right wing. It's that people are, you know, and I don't like when people call it like this. They say, well, people are using our common sense, right? But I try to explain to people that it's common sense isn't so common.
No, it's not common.
There's this show. It's called The Musketeers. You know the book, The Three Musketeers?
Of course.
Yeah. So this is a Canadian show, CBC, and it's called The Musketeers. And there was one episode on there where the king went to go see like an eclipse or something like that. They were trying to do that.
Yeah.
And he went there, and the guy was like, "No, sire, you do it like this." He was like, "It's common sense." And the king looked at him like he was crazy. And he said, "Common sense is for the common people." And I said, "Oh, shoot, how piffy does he feel?" And then I had to sit with that for a second. And I was like, oh, man, there is some truth to what he's saying.
Absolutely.
Because that if we look outside, all this insanity, that is what is common sense right now.
Yes.
That is what's passing for common sense. and it's not okay, and it's not right, but it's up to us who are willing to speak up and stand up and know better and have good sense. I don't call it common sense. I call it good sense, right? If you have good sense, you need to stand up. We've got to stand up now. And there's not going to be a time later if we don't stand up now. And I was just talking to somebody earlier about Christianity, how the Christians need to stand up.
They're being demonized at every turn. So I mean that's a group. That is a group that's being, what you want to call it, marginalized or whatever.
Yeah.
They're being, the other day I heard someone on MSNBC say, a white Christian nationalist. And they made it seem like, okay, this guy's a terrorist. And I'm like, wait, so the guy's white, big deal. He's a Christian and he's a nationalist. So I'm like, do you really know the meaning of that whole thing right there? I'm like, that's probably one of the least likely people to commit violence.
I'm trying to tell you, well, I'm a nationalist. I love my country. America first. Nobody can tell me anything about. I don't give a flying monkey's uncle about another country. No offense, none taken. Okay, they got their own country. Let their country be worried about their country. I got to worry about my country. I don't have another country.
Yep, call it isolationist or whatever you want to call it. That's America first.
Trying to tell you, that's where I don't live in Botswana. Do you live in Georgia, the country?
I don't live in Hungary. I don't live anywhere.
I don't live anywhere.
Hungary
any
would
of
be
those
a place.
places.
Awesome.
Listen, they got me. Awesome. Listen, they got me over there.
Awesome.
I was like, I heard they used to be racist.
He's like,
but I spoke to this young lady from over there that I met her at CPAC, and we were talking, and I asked about, because I like what's going on over there. It's good to me, and now they're trying to stand up for Christianity and conservative values and restore the family and all of that stuff. And I was asking her, I was like, let me ask you a question. Are they still racist over there like that? Can I go over there? It's going to be a problem, And she's like, no, it'll be fine.
No.
Everything, da-da-da-da.
They're stopping. He's put a big thing on stopping, extreme Muslim terrorism. And he said, as the people were fleeing, the West Bank and all those places, and they're fleeing, he wouldn't let any in. And they had him on the news. They said, people are calling you racist. And he looked at him. He's like, I don't care what I'm called. He goes, I look out for my family and my country, and I do what's best for them. And we are not going to have anybody who could be an extremist here causing problems. And it was just a great answer. He didn't care. He's like, I don't care.
No, he's fantastic. So my thought about them being racist goes back to Austria.
Oh, I know that.
Austria-Hungary, Einstein.
You're definitely on point for that. I'm just going to check. I'm
just going to make sure. Right. Listen, I want to be anywhere that I'm not wanted. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
You're like, look at me too. Can I come in or not?
Yeah, exactly. But we see other people working to better their country. And right now what we have is a lot of politicians, and I see it on all sides, okay?
Absolutely.
I see it on all sides. So, and you guys, if you listen to the show, you know that sometimes I rip and tear into Republicans too. Okay,
that's right.
Listen, especially Lindsey Graham.
I knew that you were. That's so funny. I knew you were thinking that from the moment we just said that. I was like, who's thinking of Lindsey Graham?
Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, and Paul Ryan. Man, please. Don't even get me. Man, listen. Paul Ryan trying to push us to CBDC and stuff like that. I can't mess with that.
Liz Cheney's out with Kamala Harris today.
Yeah, I mean,
she voted with Trump 98.5% of the time.
You saw that Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala Harris, right?
Of course, the guy's. Come on.
Legitimately, the people that the Democrats were saying was Satan.
They showed Liz Cheney in 2019 just bashing Harris. And I'm like, name one policy you agree with, Liz.
I want to go back to talking about her daddy, though. He's a monster. Dick Cheney is a monster. Dick Cheney is so bad, y'all. Like, y'all don't remember.
He will invade Mexico tomorrow.
He would. Not only is he a warmonger, he's a war profiteer. So that's why he pushes the wars, because he makes money off of that.
Yes.
He's got a major stake in Halliburton. He owns private military companies. He's got all of this stuff going on. So he's heavily invested. So he
doesn't want somebody who's going to
So he's one of the major reasons we ended up in Iraq the second time.
Yes, he is the major reason. He was the driving force behind it. The parrot in the ear,
So I mean, and people forget that in Iraq didn't have nothing to do. Iraq didn't want no smoke from the U.S.
No.
What Iraq want to do?
We're going to find those weapons soon, I know.
The weapons of mass destruction. First of all, why are we going to find this man who got weapons of mass destruction when, first of all, we knew that he had gas because we gave it to him.
Yes.
We knew that he had biological and chemical agents because we gave it to him because he was our homeboy.
Yes, he was. And we praised him for organizing and getting that country into, an actual, real state of security where they were just a mess before him, and we praised him for it. We praised him for it. Then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We gotta go to school. We gotta get some wars started.
Well, right, no, but see, so the same thing with Noriega. How Noriega rise to power? You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna act like these people weren't our friends until they weren't. Until they're useless. Until their usefulness ran out. Same thing with Osama bin Laden. We gave him. We funded him. We helped them build all that stuff up. 22 years. You understand what I'm saying? And again, another big part of that was Dick Cheney.
And Oliver North was going against Dick Cheney. He said, no, this man is the most dangerous man in the world. Talking about Osama, and Cheney was like, no, he's fine. Yeah. Nobody listened to Oliver North.
Yeah. So, and this is a big issue because remember, Dick Cheney, and I'm not gonna take nothing away from this man. This man a real life gangster. For real. Yeah. For real.
He'll slit your throat.
He shot that dude in his face. What was that guy's name? He shot that dude in his face and then made the guy apologize on the television. How does that? I don't know. You don't get more gangster than that.
How does that even work out? I'll apologize to me.
Right, because I remember that they were having a disagreement. So they went on a quail hunt. I'm using quote fingers for y'all listen to the radio.
And he was like,
boom.
Yeah. He was able to load his shotgun.
You know, and it was funny because I can't remember whether it was Jack Black or the other guy White. That's a comedian too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and he was like, how do you even shoot somebody in the face? Quails can't even fly.
Right.
Like they can. He's like they can't even really fly. They're just hot.
Right.
Like what you just say? Oh, quail. Poof.
He's like, everybody look over there. He turned around, shot the other way. He was like, man.
It's crazy. And this guy is a real crazy dude. And he's really what the Democrats, they were out there saying that he is the devil. This is what they were saying. You can't make this stuff up.
They hated him.
So now this guy is endorsing Kamala, and you're like, oh, he's so great. So now all of a sudden the devil became great?
Right.
Does this make the devil great again, or what?
He hasn't even given one reason why he's doing so. You talk about Tulsi Gabbard and RFK. They gave reasons. They've given specific full reasons. They say we don't agree with everything, but this is why we're endorsing Trump and the Republican Party. Liz and him haven't given one reason. They're just like, we hate Trump. We want war. Like that's the bottom line.
Oh, but that's the problem. He doesn't want Trump in office because Trump's talking about, I'm going to stop these wars.
He's going to stop the killing.
Well, I mean, can we? First of all, let me get real with you guys right now, okay? Even if you're a Democrat or you're a firm Kamala Harris supporter, okay? Let me get real with you 1 second. Aren't you guys tired of all the money we're spending on wars in other countries? Couldn't that money be better here? Don't we have all these issues with the homeless and the veterans?
Yep.
Couldn't that money be spent better here? Aren't you tired of all of these issues with all of this terrorism and stuff in all these other countries, which we funded? Obama created ISIS, and I feel like people forgot that even happened.
Yeah.
Like we watched it live on CNN and stuff. We were funding them to break up Syria.
Yes,
those were the people and we funded them and we helped train them. The CIA helped train them. This isn't hidden information.
No,
this isn't conspiracy
theory.
We watched this happen live on the TV on CNN as it was happening. They wasn't calling themselves ISIS, but then they decided to rebrand as ISIS. And anyway, they don't call themselves ISIS anyway. No, they call them the Islamic Caliphate or whatever. Yes. What's the thing? Daesh or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So we apparently we call them ISIS, and the Europeans call them Daesh because it's offensive to them. So
you don't want to offend.
I mean. Listen, you know how I feel about kicking.
Right.
Glass, bro. Glass. No, don't get me started. Glass. Turn it all to glass, okay? Listen, don't get me started. Look, and again, I'm not about war.
No, me neither.
But I turn them all to glass in 5 seconds.
And most people listening are not about war. Most people in this country
but we gotta pull out of all of these wars because we gotta focus on rebuilding our country.
That's why when they kept hammering Trump with the question, would you support or would you let get behind Ukraine for the Ukraine win? And he kept saying, I will stop the dying. I will stop the war. I will stop the dying. I'll stop the war. And you know what? That answer in a poll was extremely popular because people were like, you know what? In order for Ukraine to win, what would have to have? It's going to be another 2 years dying. Can they even win? Probably not. So it's like there's going to be way more dying to get behind a country to win rather than he's going to stop the dying right then and there.
Well, how many people, first of all, the big thing about the Ukraine situation is we don't talk about how the actual Ukrainians that are ethnically Russian, okay, in the east which is where Russia said that they're going to take, that they want, okay, because they were supposed to be autonomous regions.
Correct.
And Zelensky and his goons, I said what I said, went in there and they started actually committing genocide. I don't see the people with the flags out there protesting against the genocide that's committed against the ethnic Russians. And I don't give a flying monkey's uncle about Russia. You understand what I'm saying?
No, but why are they cheering when Russia rolls in, these people? Because a lot of those people in that region, they want to be under Russian control.
Because they've been, did you see? Okay, so finally the videos are getting out of Zelensky and his goons tearing up the churches and stuff like that. It was a big thing on Twitter over the weekend. And I'm like, finally, I've spoken about this on the show before.
Because Zelensky's not this hero. Let's get that straight before sorry to interrupt, but let's get this straight. He's not a hero. Zelensky has been made into a hero for the sake and the financial gain of our country. But like Marcus will tell you, it's not even close to that. Zelensky is a corrupt man.
It's very true.
And they said that about his phone call with Trump. Remember, Trump was on the phone with a corrupt man, but now all of a sudden he's a hero. So there's a lot of things about him that has just completely been suppressed by the media. And you know what? Even on Fox News and stuff. So it kind of upsets me. It really gets me.
Let's talk about the fact that the UN and NATO said that if they wanted to join NATO, that they'd actually have to restore democracy in their country. Do you know that Zelensky has canceled all the elections? Do you know that Zelensky has gotten rid of all of the other media channels except for the government media channels? Okay, so that there are no opposition, so that there's no other radio stations, no other TV or nothing. Do you know that they highly control the internet over there and curate the information? Like, can we have those conversations? Or can we talk about how they're force conscripting people in Ukraine, young men, okay, leaving women without husbands, leaving mothers without sons? It's terrifying what's going on. What about them? What about them? I haven't seen the videos of the last couple of days. A lot of them have been coming out because they're trying to get more now than ever. They don't have nobody to fight. Don't nobody want to fight. Why would you want to fight that?
Right.
What am I even fighting for? They don't even know they're fighting.
Exactly. What are we fighting for? We're fighting a war that we can't win. We're fighting a war that.
But they're all dying.
Exactly.
Dying.
All dying.
And nobody wants to die, especially for something that they don't feel is worth fighting for. So
100%. It's not like if you felt like if there was something worth fighting for, I'm going to be the first one out. But when you tell me I got to go, fight people in New Jersey because you know what, maybe New Jersey might take our land. I'm going to say, I'm all good with that. It's like I said, it's a simple answer. We're going to stop people. We're going to stop the dying. We're going to stop the dying. I'm going to end this before I'm even elected. We're going to stop the dying. And it was a popular answer, but did you hear Kamala on either today or yesterday? She said, she was at some, I don't know, little thing. And these protesters came in screaming, genocide, genocide, genocide. And she's like, they're talking about Israel, and like slammed Israel right in front of everyone. And then it's crazy. And then she goes out later. And I was like, no, I'm for Israel. I'm for Israel.
But she got on the TV real hard and started talking about the guy that they killed. What's his name?
Similar.
Anwar Sinwar. Yeah. I'm about to call him the oil preserver in a second. But no. She was out there talking about that like she was the president.
Right.
So, but
I
thought she said that she didn't have any control or any power over what's going on in the administration.
Only when there's something that she wants to.
I can't even. And it's crazy. See, and it's not to bash her or anything. It's to say that if these people were being honest with you, then maybe we could have a real conversation. But they're not being honest with you, and they don't want you to have a real conversation.
No.
Because why would they want you to have a real conversation? You might be able to think for yourself and have some independent thoughts. Can't have that.
There's a reason they want to keep you uneducated on top of it. I mean, and that a lot of governments are like that, but ours shouldn't be. We have it's just like Hillary Clinton and other people talking about we should criticizing the government is criticizing the government is our constitutional right. Without criticizing the government, there isn't even a constitution. That's one of the main things that were put in there by our founding fathers.
That is a fact. And I try to explain to people, and I know I'm beating this horse real hard, but I need you to understand that the First Amendment, when it comes to the freedom of press, it is not about the media, the newspapers, the radio people, or none of that. It is about you being able to write whatever you want and then distribute it.
Yes, and get mass
to
show audiences.
That's exactly it. And they are trying to take that away from you. They do not want you to be able to do that. They don't want you to look at what's happening online, right? You post something and they're like, oh, they're taking it down or whatever.
Putting a warning over it.
That is First Amendment violations.
100%.
Some people call it free speech. Well, it's not free speech, you guys. That's freedom of the press.
Right.
That's what that is. That's what that's about. Because our founders were out there printing out these pamphlets that were going against the crowd, that were talking about how the government should be. And that's where the freedom of the press came from. Okay, that's what it was about. You have the freedom to write and distribute what you want to.
And now that we're seeing that actually happen on X, you got people every day. Oh, I see it every day on X. It's like, we need to stop Elon Musk from allowing it's basically exchange of information, from misinformation from going viral, because we need to save our democracy. And I just crack up every time. Yeah, like, so you want us to stop somebody's opinion to save our democracy? They wouldn't know irony if they hit them in the face. They like to use words that they don't even know what it means.
Oh, that's right.
They love words that they don't even know.
We're not even a democracy,
No,
so we can't
threat to democracy. Okay, yeah. Well,
we're not a democracy.
Exactly.
Maybe it is a threat to democracy,
but it's not us.
But we're supposed to be a republic.
Yeah, we're a
constitutional republic. What are you talking about? It's a threat to democracy. Who's democracy? Where?
And there's really a big difference between the two. In a regular democracy, you're going to see 49% of the population just completely oppressed by opinions of 51. There's a reason why we have a Senate and a House, because it allows the people who aren't in power to have some say with the filibuster, things like that. There was a reason it's broken up into 3 equal branches. There's checks and balances.
They call them co-equal branches.
Co-equal branches, but
that's why they're trying to eviscerate the judiciary.
I was just going to say that, and for that Supreme Court to be, talked about and pushed down as they're not equal, as they're not co-equal, that is insane, because you can't. If something's struck down legally by the court, constitutionally, you can't just go and do it. But we're seeing that people defy the court just because they don't agree with it, and it's okay. It's okay. They just don't agree with it. And that really, talk about a threat, that's kind of a threat right there. But also, they want to take that court, and if they got the Senate and the House, and the presidency, they would absolutely expand it to 12 justices.
Well, they shouldn't do anything. They need to leave it alone.
Of course they should. Of course they should leave it alone.
They need to leave it alone. But I mean, like, we could go back and forth over how many Supreme Court justices there should be, or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, the problem isn't that the number of Supreme Court justices, it's that the bureaucracy and the people that are the politicians are not getting their way. And it is very dangerous. Let me get real close to the mic and look into the camera real deeply. Like and subscribe. If you're listening to us online, hit that thumbs up, hit that heart button, share everywhere, you guys. Share it on up, okay? Let me look real close into the camera, talk real deep in here. If the bureaucracy and the politicians are mad at the judiciary because they're not getting their way, you need to be very aware that it is very dangerous for them to get their way, because that means that they are up to no good.
Exactly.
And that you have no other outlet, and they're trying to steal that from you.
Not only that, but if people, what you don't hear on the news is literally the vast majority of cases sent to the Supreme Court are 9-0-8-1, which means they're all agreeing. All the justices agree, because they interpret the law and the Constitution the same. It's those few times where it ends up 6-3-5-4, and it used to be, because it used to be a very liberal court. Actually, the left would legislate from the bench all the time, which we can get into another time. But when it was the other way around, you never heard, oh no, we need to expand the court. But as soon as it came to where some of these close ones are going against the opinions and the narrative of the left, now you're seeing, we got to expand it. Well, no.
But if it was, I guarantee you, if it started to change tomorrow, they wouldn't talk about expanding anything.
Absolutely not.
And that shows you how full of malarkey they are.
Because if two Supreme Court justices that were on the right got no car accident tomorrow, and Biden appointed 2 leftists, it'd be fine.
Yeah, don't say that out loud too much. Might get Hillary Clinton or somebody,
She's like, hey, not a bad
idea. So, but this is part of the problem that we got going on right now. And we really need to have these types of serious conversations about it and what's really going on. We see every day more and more the people that are in power continue to expand the power of their own political offices that they're not supposed to have. We deserve more small local government. You deserve to be able to redress your grievances, just like the First Amendment says. That's part of it that people forget. Your First Amendment right is to redress your grievances with your elected officials, with your representatives.
That's the most important part of it.
That's the most important part of it. And we need to start telling them, you guys, what you're doing is not right. The way that you're going about things, we're not with it. We're not for
Yeah,
that.
we don't like the way you're voting. You know, you got to change some votes here, and you don't vote on what you want. You vote what your constituents want, and people forget about that. We don't vote on someone, send them there, and be like, just vote however you want.
Oh, but that's how we're in the situation we are in our area.
Exactly, because we don't hold anybody accountable. We don't even look at while they vote.
Well, were we just talking about the current elected officials there? Where are they? And now all of a sudden they change. I want to talk about the fact that, you know what I'm saying? And I ask these people, you know, and I think a large portion of people are like, oh, well, you don't like these people or you don't like that people. No, I hold them to a higher standard than what you're holding them to.
Yep.
I want them to do what's best for our community. And I'm not going to back down on that. I don't care who feels what type of way or any type of way. Because at the end of the day, at some time, I'm going to pass away like everybody else. Memento mori, okay? Halloween's coming up. Y'all better remember that. You better remember death, that you will die, okay? This is a thing. We need to make sure that we remember that we're not going to be here forever. So while we are here on the issues that are of importance, we must stand up and we must speak up.
If you look around the city, you want to know why Marcus is talking about these people. Is it getting better? Are things getting better? Are areas cleaning up? Are things? This city's been under Democratic control for 50 plus years. Have the bad areas of the city got better, or have they got worse?
Listen, it's getting bad in other places.
Exactly.
Like the crime is growing, like the cancer that it is, because they didn't want to stop it and nip it in the bud to begin with, because they want the crime. That's what it is at the end of the day. Because it allows them to funnel more money in, and they put more of the money in their pockets or in their friends' pockets.
Don't get me started with funny. I can't wait to touch that subject. Well,
oh man, but it's so crazy because we see all of this stuff happening, and then we ask ourselves, why? Why is it happening? Well, I'll tell you why. Because you're not doing anything, and I know that might be a rebuke. Sometimes you need to be rebuked out of love. Okay, you need to definitely turn around and repent, okay, for not speaking up. You need to be standing up and speaking up, because one voice alone is not going to make a difference. But if we all stand up together, we can tip the teapot over and pour them all out.
I mean, even if you talk to one person and they change their mind, I mean, that's crazy. That's awesome if everyone did that. But it's not something that's just we're under Democratic control, I'm not going to vote. I've heard that for years upon years. No point in voting in New York. Well, there's a huge point in voting. And on the 26th, when early voting starts, we need to do just what Florida's doing right now, right? And when the early voting starts today, Republicans outpaced Democrats 200,000 to 50,000 for early voting, just right since it opened, which is awesome. You know, who would have thought that number would pop up? But we need to do that here in New York too. Republicans need to get out early. Conservative, independents, anybody who's voting needs to get out early and cast your vote, because who knows what happens on election day. Maybe your kid gets sick. Maybe you get sick. Get out there and vote, and then talk to other people about
vote
voting.
Often. Vote early, vote often. Vote early, vote often. And I'm so serious about that. I'm going to go vote early on the 26th. I'm going to early voting. And what's going to happen on November 5th, when it's actual election day, I'm going to go down again. And I'm going to make sure that they say that it was already processed.
Yes, exactly.
Okay? Because we cannot play these games, especially in such a serious election. I just want to get back to the time where every election isn't the election of our life.
Right, exactly.
You know, that's what I want to get back. You know, and it seems, which just shows you how much worse it's getting.
And how far they're apart, the size of it.
This is so serious. Like we were saying earlier, you were like, oh, well, now that's right. That's right wing. I'm like, that's not right. It's not
you're
even.
Right. It's.
The problem is that the voices that care are so scared to speak up, and they won't say anything, and they're afraid. So it's up to us as the community members to stand up. As American citizens, it is your duty, your God-given duty, to stand up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I have a neighbor that, you know, she lives by herself. She doesn't have anyone there with her, and she wanted to put signs out in front. You know, and she's like, I can't do it. I'm scared. And I was like, why are you scared? She's like, and I understand where she's coming from. You know, there's, I mean, people talk all this right-wing violence. I don't see any right-wing violence. No. I see a lot of stuff coming from the left, but and you know, if you're in an area where they hate Trump and you have a Trump hat on, I can see them, you know, not serving you because you have a Trump hat on. This and that. It's insane, the stuff you see, and it's irrational. First of all,
but that's what happens and stuff like that. Now you got a lot of stuff when you talk about. So let's go back to the Christian aspect for a second, right? So you got all the apostles, right? So a lot of them died as martyrs for speaking up for righteousness, for what is right and what they believed in and their faith. And what's happening here? Nothing. You got people getting the disciples. Matter of fact, let me take it away from the disciples. Okay, let's talk about the Coptic Christians in Egypt that are being tortured because they're refusing to switch over right now. They're being killed and tortured right now, this instant as we speak. And you don't hardly see that anywhere. You might probably didn't even know that was happening. That doesn't happen pretty much. You probably didn't even hear that. No, that's happening. But can we talk about that? And they are dying because of what they believe in, and they are willing to die. They're willing to die. Yes, exactly. That's right. And it's not like I'm telling you to sacrifice your life, but I'm saying, what is your life worth if you're not standing up for righteousness? What is it worth if you're not fighting to save your country? And people say fight for our democracy. One, we're not a democracy, and two, I could give a flying monkey's uncle about that because that's not what we are. Yes, yeah. But the point is we need to fight to save our nation. They are doing everything that they can divide our nation. Our founding fathers very much so warned us about that. And they're saying it out loud. They're not even they are saying it out loud. Well, the Constitution isn't really, it's amendable. Well, but they keep saying that they want to change and rip apart the Constitution, and people aren't saying anything. And now, unfortunately, that's everybody that says that is on the left. They're Democrats. So I mean, if you're a Democrat and you don't believe in that, you need to be standing up more than anybody else. If you think our Constitution is the most important thing, because without it, we wouldn't even have it. We wouldn't have America. We wouldn't be a country without our Bill of Rights, our Constitution. It's something that separates us, and it talks about our God-given rights. Not right. You don't get given rights from the government. It bothers me so much, Tim Walz, right? Yeah. So I'm not ragging on these people. I'll let Brian do that. But I could, okay? But my thing is that he's like, we're reclaiming patriotism. What the flying uncles are you talking about? What are you talking about? Elmer Fudd. What? We're okay. You look like Elmer Fudd out there. Listen, I'll let you talk about that. But my thing is are we not all members of this country? Are we not all citizens? What do you mean you're reclaiming patriotism? You can't reclaim that when the policies and the laws that you're pushing are against our country, our nation, our founding values, our principles, our Constitution, our way of life. He allowed Minneapolis to burn, first of all, and businesses to burn. I'm just talking about what he's talking about now. Like, I'll let you talk about everything he's done is insane. Everything what you're talking about, what he said is in contrast. It's just completely the opposite of how it's and it just is one of what we talk about Thanksgiving, fashion. Where are those far left anti-fascists that are supposed to stand up against fascism? I've been calling them out. Where are they, bro? Like, they're just letting this fascism happen, and then they so mad at everybody that's a conservative or whatever, talking about their fascists. And the Democrats are over here legitimately, and I hate to beat this horse, but over here in Rochester, they are making you check your ID by the police to get in neighborhoods, and people are letting it happen. Come on now. Like, that's fascism at 100, okay? Like, I don't even understand why nobody is saying anything, why people won't stand up, and why people won't speak up. And I have been talking to some other people, you know what I'm saying? Like some regular, everyday people that live in the city, and they're like, yeah, this is not right. This is wrong. And I'm like, well, how come we got all of these people supporting? Yeah. Did you see the food truck thing over there that they did over the weekend? No. They're like, now we're going to put food trucks over there too. Well, wait, all of those restaurants sell food over there. And did you check with them? And I know people are like, oh, competition is good. Oh, competition is good. Not really when they don't have overhead. When they have overhead, you got to pay for the restaurant that you're in. Exactly. You know, I have a friend that owns a restaurant over there, and they just redid the restaurant and all of this and all of that. And they were already suffering, and now you're going to make them suffer more? Why would you do that, you evil monsters? Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and I stand on that. I stand on that. If you feel some type of way, it's probably because you're the evil monster. Fix yourself. It's not because I dislike you. It's because I want you to get right and get right with the Lord and get right with the people. Because you ain't right with the people, even if you got other people saying, "Oh, what a good idea." And most of those people that are like that, are the people who aren't affected. Those are the people that are in their ivory towers, and they're in their ivory towers. They're so what do you call it? They're so above all of the other people with their noses
that they're
up
never
in
going to
the
be
air.
affected by any of the negative, things that come of it. They're the same ones that yell upon the police from their beautiful home gates on it, way out in the suburbs. It's exact same.
Or
thing.
even in Park Avenue and stuff like that. And if you guys know about this, if you guys are local, that I was listening to the scanner or whatever yesterday, and it said that at the Blue something, I don't remember the name of the restaurant over there on the corner. I know where it is. I can see it in my head. I've been there before. I had a rabbit burger there one time. Rabbit should not be in burgers. It was not very good. It wasn't good. I don't know why, but they didn't maybe they didn't season it or spice it or whatever. But I like rabbit, and it wasn't a burger, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't very good. It wasn't. I don't know. Maybe the main cook took off that day or something. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, I was listening to the scanner, and the scanner said that they had a hanging over there, and I'm like, okay, Rochester really isn't a real place anymore. You've heard that, I'm sure. People say that Rochester isn't a real place, right? And they're like, yeah, we've got to get more units over there for the hanging over there. And I'm like, are they misspeaking?
Yeah.
Did I miss like a broadcast before this? So because now I got so many questions, right?
Like, wait a minute.
This is a restaurant. So I'm like, well, did somebody hang themselves?
Or did somebody
get hung? Like I got like first of all, that's the most important thing. But is this what's going on? Either way, is this what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, is it?
And how many did you need to take the
I don't understand. I don't understand, and I haven't heard anything back about that yet. I need to. I need to find out about that. Like, I'm like, did they misspeak? Is this
right?
Are they leaving out words because they already have all the information? Like, what's going on here? Like, but it goes back to this concept, that Rochester isn't a real place, and I've heard that said before. And I'm like, kind of like, oh, whatever. And I'd like to remind you that if you're watching right now, make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. Definitely hit subscribe and hit that share button 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Share to 5 different places, okay? Share to your mama's page. Share to your friend's page. Share to 5 groups that you're in. And make sure that you're following and subscribe. And make sure that you like and share. Now, thank you for listening to us right now. Because that's right. You're on you're listening to The Divide on WRFZ 106.3, and you guys know that we're here every Monday, 2:30 to 4 p.m., and we are here to present you with what's going on. So if you're listening to us on the radio, make sure that you're encouraging other people to listen to us. Tell your friends, your enemies, your mama, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your cousin that's twice removed on your uncle's side. Okay, everybody.
Flood their inbox.
Listen, go start stapling things to your church door, let them know to tune in, and I joke, but seriously, we have that, the stuff that goes on in Rochester. It's like, is it even a real place? Like this summer, I was reading something and it's like, oh yeah, and it wasn't in the news. It wasn't in the news, but it was in the police block, right? So it was like, oh, somebody. And I'm laughing. It's not a laughing matter. Somebody was run through with a machete. The thing read, stab people, stabbed with a machete.
I know the person I got. She lost her arm.
No, not the one that got chopped up. Poor lady. She actually works for a friend of mine. A friend of mine. Yes. Yeah, I hope you're recovering better than you ever thought that you could.
And the person that I'm playing against, he got 20 plus years. So, but I'm glad we got to get that. Have some peace there.
That's terrible. That's terrifying. But you know what that comes from, right? Because people feel like they can do anything and get away with it. Violence used to be a last option. Now it's everybody's first option that they decide to choose. Why is that? Because of the horrible laws that are preventing crimes from being punished.
Exactly.
That's right.
Why hold yourself accountable? Nobody else. Right?
Yeah. So what I read it was somebody got stabbed with a machete. I said, somebody out here stabbing people. is this the Caribbean? Like, is this,
Right.
where is it? Are
That's
we
what
in
I think about when you say
Africa?
that. I'm like,
Like, what is going on? Like, that's not an American Northeastern type of a crime. Like in the
Yeah.
snow belt. Like, we're in the snow belt.
that's
like,
not what you text.
that's not-
You're like, I'm gonna cry today.
right? We stabbing people in the running people through with machetes. Is that what we've become as a society right now? But it is, because we've got roving gangs with machetes on bikes.
Somebody cut some guy's head off at the homeless shelter. I mean,
That's
decapitated
right.
him. Literally, the guy was sleeping. The guy was minding his own business, sleeping. This guy was all drunk up. Went over and cut this dude's head off completely. The head fell off.
A friend of mine said that he was at the shelter when that happened. He was in the shelter because he was homeless.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a problem. You know, but
That's gonna be talk about some emotional trauma.
Listen, I don't even the stuff that I've seen in my life. I don't even know emotional trauma is in this
The
stuff.
head rolling off.
Like,
I'm pretty good at bouncing back things, but
Nah,
the head rolling off. Forgive me.
Listen, I'd probably be mad that they interfere with my sleep.
Right,
And now they gotta have all this. Now they gotta have all the ambulances and the people
and
carrying it out.
leave
And somebody will say, "Oh well, Marcus, do you not have any feelings?" I got lots of feelings, but seeing the stuff that I see every day, seeing it, it's like I'm not saying that it's normal. I'm saying that it has become hyper normalized by our government because they continue to lie to you, tell you that crime is down, the viciousness is up.
Yes,
The viciousness of the crimes are up. The stuff that we've never thought about seeing. I guarantee you, mark my word, within the next 365 days, you are going to find out that somebody was dragged to their death behind a car. I guarantee you that. I mark my word. You understand what I'm saying? Because y'all don't understand the savagery that is going on out here. And they try to cover it up and stuff like that. Because
crime is not, first of all, crime isn't down. Just because you don't prosecute all these little crimes doesn't make it not happen. If like I said, they stop printing the obituaries, it doesn't mean deaths aren't still happen. It's the fact of the matter is just because you don't want to prosecute all these smaller crimes doesn't mean crime is down. And violent crime, well, maybe murders are down, peaked at a level that was just unheard of a couple years ago. But look at it compared to 2018 and 19, we're still way up.
That's right. And this is the problem. This is what we're seeing. So much crime, so much animosity, so much what we call tension and angst that's built up in people because they see that crime goes unpunished, but more so, they don't see anything positive.
No.
Now you ask yourself, why don't people see anything positive? And we might think that positive things are developments, beautiful, nice things and stuff like that. No. Positive things are opportunities, right? Something, a way out, right?
Right.
Like, where are the jobs? I talked about this before.
Yes.
Where are these jobs, bro? People can't get these jobs. I go through, people apply 30, 40 times a job.
Literally.
Get no call back, overqualified. Yep. And I don't know if I told this story on the radio. Did I about the library thing?
Yeah, you applied for that.
The library to read to the kids?
Yeah. They were like Marcus C. Williams.
I was like, I just wanted to read to the kids. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And I do civics. I do free civics trainings, you guys, if you're listening. I do one about once a month. I didn't do one this month, and I probably won't next month, but I might at the end of the month because of the election. But also, I am running for state assembly. I'm running for state assembly, 137th New York State Assembly District, covering the majority of the city of Rochester and the whole town of Kings. So you can definitely vote for me, whether you're Democrat or independent. You can vote for me, even though I'll be on the Republican line. You don't even need to change your party to do it. Yep. That's a very important thing. And check out my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. That's Marcus4Rochester.com. Now,
I'm running from the police.
Don't. Stop resisting.
I'm running from
Anyway, but no, it's sad because we see that so many people with education, and I use the term like the education, okay? Yeah. Because the quality of the education is terrible. The stuff that they prepare you for are not life skills that you need, and nobody knows how to do life. That's why you got these grown people on the internet talking about, sometimes I just need an adult. And then I realized I'm the adult, and that's the problem, right? Because that's the way that our society has become. It's become so pacified It's become so soft. It's become so what's the word? Oh my goodness, it's a really good word. It's another word. It doesn't matter. But anyway, like it's become so soft that we're not able to deal with the everyday things. You know, one thing I like to talk about on that aspect, I like to talk about death, right? Yeah. Okay, we just talked earlier, we said momentum mori, you know? Yeah. Remember death, remember you will die. Yeah. And because it's something that's always ever present. But remember what happened in COVID? You made a statement about that. You know, they were trying to terrify people about death. Yes. Why are you terrifying me about death when I know it's gonna come anyway? I'm not scared of death. Look, that's the land. It's life that's the hard part. You know, death is easy. No, you know? That's good. I don't want do I want that? You know, and I'd laugh to keep from crying, honestly, because it's terrifying what they were able to get away with and cultivating people's mindsets and stuff like that. They were able to control you by the terror of death, exactly. By the fact that, oh my God, go here, or by the fact that you are going to kill somebody yourself. You know, you might kill somebody else. Your grandmother killer, remember that? Oh man, I remember that. It's terrifying. How many people's parents, who has been held accountable for all of those deaths in the nursing home, for them pumping all of those sick people into the nursing home? Nobody. They tried with that when Cuomo went for the Senate. He tried to push it off on Trump. He said, "Well, I think it's more Trump's fault." They're like, I mean, they blasted him. They're like, "What are you talking about?" But it was state policy, and many people in New York State don't even realize that other states weren't even locked down. No, they don't know. No. They don't know. People don't know. Never locked down. People don't know that didn't happen in other places. They think everything happened. Right, and they're still there. They're still alive. People are they're there living. Listen, what happened to that winter that Joe Biden said was a winter of death and despair of people that didn't get those shots? Like, what happened with that? Like, it's just trying to force people, trying to scare people don't want to get that shot. I know more people who've taken it and died have not taken it. I know more people have taken that complication. General study just came out from Stanford. It was released last week. I put it all over Facebook. How dare you talk about real information, Brian? They had a group of children who took the mRNA vaccine, and then a group that had it, and they studied the occurrence of pericarditis and myocarditis in each group. Well, the rate was 27 and 10 respectively in the group who took the shot, and 0 and 0 in the group that didn't take it. Did you might say only 27 out of 1,000? Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. So it's 10 out of 1,000. When you're talking about a little, it's hard. You know, and then the group that had no vaccination had 0 incidents. So, I mean, that's a study. That's fact. But did you hear that the Novavax or whatever you call it? I think that's what they call it. The Novavax, the flu, and the COVID shot in one. Okay, that's a combo. So they got rid of it. So it's been pulled. Like, this is a fact. Like, you go fact check this. It's been pulled because it was causing nerve damage, neuropathy, something like that. Yeah, neuropathy. Yeah. So it's causing nerve damage in children. Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Well, what we've seen similar things happen to adults with the yes, we've seen fertility issues, we've seen a lot of things. Brother, it's just crazy. But to that note, what happens is we have these things that are being told to us that they are good, that are not getting a full study on, that are going into people's pockets, and they are getting money and benefiting. And can't be sued, can't be held accountable for. No, you can't be held harmless. Right? Held harmless. It's crazy. It's insane. It's insane. And then, you know, not only that, they may say, "Oh, we're telling you the science." Not only that, but anybody who went against that science. Hey, doctor, we're talking about some of the most respected doctors in this country who went against that science and were silenced, threatened, you know, just completely information suppressed on every social media platform, every regular media platform. And they were even to the point where they were threatened with arrest in California. I mean, it was insane to think that these doctors spent their life studying doctors that were smarter than Fauci. You know, just because Fauci was in that position doesn't make him the smartest doctor in the country. There's epidemiologists in all over the place, and they were completely silenced. You could not speak out against that. And the second worst was Bricks, because Bricks knew what she was doing, and she wouldn't even say anything. And you could see on her face, and you could see on her face that she knew that it was a whole bunch of garbage. And then what was the other one? The CDC director, what's her name? Oh my goodness. She's kind of cute though. She's kind of cute. She's not my
She's right there for a government employee.
That is so rude. There's some very attractive government employees. It's not untrue.
Let me know next show where you're
Terrible. Maybe you're talking to administration.
Yes. Well,
maybe. Anna Paulina?
Yes, yeah.
Excuse me, she is a married woman, sir.
I don't care. She's so cute. You'll get married, turn uncute. Well, some people.
Listen, I need that in my prenup, right? You can't do that. You can't switch up.
My prenup. Yeah, you gotta stay exact. You gotta stay like June quick now. I swear, when you just sign it, I swear I'll stay both. I'll still get exactly.
But you know, I can't for the life of me on that CDC. They're not Welch. What is her name? Oh my goodness. Something like that. It's something there. It's there. It's there. Right. Was it
right. I did it. Somebody
send her name.
Type it in.
Yeah. Somebody knows. Somebody knows. And if you're following, listen to us right now online, make sure that you hit like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, people. It's very
important.
Rachel Walensky. There we go.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, here we go. There we go. So yeah. But the crazy thing is that we have given too much power to the technocrats, the people that know so much that they don't know anything. Okay, that they can tell you anything. And you're like, oh well, they're an expert. They're
right. They were put in that position. They were put in that position. They're not an expert just because you're put in a position.
This is what I'm saying.
I mean, they put that Sam guy with the goatee that wears a dress and high heels. They put him in a position to control nuclear stuff.
Oh, the bald guy, right? The
Sam
stuff.
Yeah, Sam. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sam, you show up with it.
Oh, he stole that African lady designer dress, right? Like he was a klepto too. Yeah, he likes to steal people's. Yes, that wasn't. It was more than that though.
Oh, yeah.
He got caught stealing people. Yes.
You make money, bro.
Yes.
And yeah, you show up for an interview. I'm sorry, you show up for an interview with a goatee, lipstick, and dress. I'm like, you either shave the goatee or take off the dress.
Oh my God, bro! Like that. But this is the type of people that this administration is flush with.
It's insane.
So it's. I have never in my. I have not ever, as far as I can remember, not disliked every single person in somebody's cabinet. There's always like somebody that interior minute. Look, the interior person, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, somebody somewhere. It's like all of these people in this administration are terrible. And then even like Buttigieg, where is that money? What was it 1.7 trillion dollars for the infrastructure nonsense? And then they put 4.7 billion? Was it 4.7 billion to build the what do you call those things? The charging station.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and 3 got built. And they don't think they're functioning yet.
And one of them, one of them wasn't even, man, listen, only 2 of them were completed. One of the other one don't even work. And it's been 4 years.
Transportation's been a mess all around for 4 years.
And where is Kamala Harris, bro? Where is Kamala Harris, bro? Where is Kamala Harris? We know that Biden ain't running the government. Yeah. He ain't been running the government. And if you knew anybody, they would probably tell you that Biden was incompetent to begin with. But people want to act like, oh no, he's the greatest.
No, she said the other day in the interview, he's still competent. She goes, I see him in private. I see him in meetings. And he is still more than capable of making this.
Then let him run. Let that man run.
Why are you here at this?
Let that man run. You
should be
usurped that man. You just usurped that man. I'm not even a fan, bro. But what they did,
no.
But when you are wrong, you are wrong. What they did to Biden was absolutely wrong.
I've been saying that for weeks upon weeks. I said this guy, and I could see the look in his eye. Like he's pissed, and I don't blame him. And I know his wife. I know Jill. And they're like secretly, oh, we're going to campaign for Harris. But then they throw out these digs and these little statements. And I'm like, that's so intentional because this guy was wrong on every level. He told the media, why, if you would have put this amount of time and money into lifting me up like you did Harris, guess what? Maybe I could have won too. Plus, he's a stronger candidate.
Well, but I don't like Joe Biden because he's a big racist, but that's a whole separate time. And he is. His mentor was Howard Byrd, not Howard Byrd. What's the guy? Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd. And what's the other guy's name? Oh my God. The KKK guy. Yes. Dang. I can't remember like that. And he gave the eulogy at
absolutely. He was like, this guy's a great man.
What was his name? Oh my goodness. Somebody dropped the name. What was his name? Oh man, Robert Byrd and the other guy. It's escaping me right now. And so they were straight out avowed racist, and these are his people.
And he had no problem saying, he had no problem speaking up about it.
He said they
That's
were
why
the
Harris
greatest.
called him racist. Harris called him racist at the debate. He's like, you're a racist. Jill was like, F this.
Look, she's a racist.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started, bro. And again, I don't like to talk about these. I don't like to talk about the presidential election or the candidates to make it seem like I'm one way or another. But I'll tell you this very simply: there are certain things that we need to be able to identify that are happening. Like, it's okay if you like Harris and she's a racist. That's on you. That's fine. Okay. You like her. You like her because she's not Trump. I understand that. But this woman, not only are her policies that she has implemented and spoke on, now they're like, oh, well, she's got a thing for black people.
It's insane. It's insane. She literally panders to each group. Like, where?
Well, but have you seen it? Free weed for black people.
That's what I'm saying. So you smoke weed, Marcus? You smoke weed? Because I know you don't smoke weed.
I don't smoke weed.
So what does that? How does that help you at all?
It doesn't help me at all. I don't care.
How does it help most of the population?
Oh, but look at what's happened in New York. It doesn't help. But look at what's happened in New York State with the legalization of marijuana.
Every time in Oregon, same thing.
Every time they do that, stuff goes awry. The black market goes crazy. Psychosis endures and becomes stronger.
Car accidents increase by 25%.
Now they got the signs up. You can see them by the expressway. It says, "Don't be toasted and dry." Oh, something else. It's
basically don't drive high. But
don't drive high.
Because if you see that you're high, you're like, oh, I'm already driving. So it's.
Do you stop in the middle of the street?
Just pull over. Stop right here.
But here's the deal, right? When it comes to that, like, that's not funny. No. That's not putting that on a thing saying that that's for black men. That's not okay.
It's insane.
That's
I thought it was the biggest slap in the face.
Black people think that the weed is, and that's the thing. Then she's talking about, what was it, the $25,000 for people, the black people and others.
Yes, and
others to start businesses. No, first of all, you know good and well that that's illegal. Okay, that is so discriminatory. You could never get that passed. Never get that passed. Okay,
she never puts anything into more of a geographical group. People in communities that are hit hard. They should be it's always black people or this people.
But it's not though. So it's going to be the same thing that we see with the DEI, where the majority of people that benefit from that are white women.
Exactly.
Okay, explain it to me. Like I'm 5 though, for real.
No, you're absolutely right. Wait, when you do anything,
and those are the statistics, so you can go look that up.
If you look at any merit-based company that's hired on merit, they have just as much diversity, quote unquote diversity, as that when people hire on DEI. It's just natural, and it's natural and it comes natural diversity like that. But it's stupid to even put a focus on that, because just if you're taking the best person for the job, you're taking the best person for the job. Everybody's allowed to go after it. Well, when you start hiring on other things, people are.
I don't even care about that. I'm going to tell you what I care. I care about opportunity to compete in the market. But there are so many regulations and stuff like that. I think we talked about this last week with the farms and stuff like that. Or I don't remember. So with all the regulations, it prevents people from being able to actually go into business in many fields and be successful. And that's something that we don't want to talk about, but we definitely, desperately should. Why are we not talking about it? Right. That's very, very important for us to talk about. And now they're like, oh, well, we're going to give you this money to start a business. Really? How?
Yeah.
How? Wow. How? What are the qualifications that I need to get? What do I need?
Income level. What is it? There's no specifications.
There's no specifications. They're just like, I'm going to do this. So you're going to give free money and free weed. And didn't they say that Trump was buying the election?
Right. Free money and free weed.
Free money and free weed. I can't, bro. That's what it boils down to.
She said black people. So someone, a black doctor, it's free in his house. He gets free money and free weed. He wants to start a little side business. Get out of here with that.
Well, but this is the problem, right? Whenever the government tells you that something is good for you, you better check your pocket and you better check your backside. Yeah. Because they probably reaching in your pocket or they're penetrating you one of the two. It's neat. A lot of times it's both. A lot of times it's both.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and this is what we need to have the conversations about, because I can't wait till the election is over, bro. Then I'll be free.
Yeah, right.
Then I really got some stuff to say. And I really got some stuff to say, bro. And I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about the. So I really got some stuff to say. Don't wait. And you're like, well, why can't you say it now? I ain't got time for that explanation either. Wait till after the election. I'm gonna tell it all. Okay. But there's a lot of people that are Republican too. Again, they push these things through that are not good for the people, that are benefiting them and themselves and their benefactors.
Yes, they're benefactors. I was going to say the benefactors. It's you. You know, you got to find out, are they on the board of the company? Are they, you know, it's all about Rochester too. We're seeing that with nonprofits in Rochester right now. It's going crazy. Who's getting these grants? Who's getting all the stuff? We have more nonprofits in Rochester than half the big cities around. It's insane. And the reason they're formed, look at who the CEO is. And all the nonprofits. Look at their salary. So
somebody explained it very simply how things work in our city. It's a clique, and it's the same thing like what's his name said, the comedian George Carlin.
It's a club.
It's a club, and you ain't in it. So, and I spoke to a gentleman today, and he's like, "Listen, he's like, I know you're running for office or whatever, but you're not part of that whole situation there, you know, and they're gonna make it hard for you and everything to win or do anything. And you're gonna be disgusted." I said, "I'm already disgusted."
Right, exactly.
I said, I'm already, listen, every month,
get a library job.
every month, and it's not like I needed the job. No. I saw that it was a reading to kids, and I think that that's very important.
Right, and they need to be filled. So
until I find my wife, or my wife finds me, because I'm not looking. I'm waiting for the Lord to deliver her, because if I'm looking at it, I'm not gonna pick it.
You start looking.
I already know myself. The ones I pick, they ain't it.
Just let it come.
Listen, that's so. But
these days, walk right through the store right here.
Yeah, but the point is that I want to help enrich the younger generations, because I know that is a desperately crucial thing. You know, I already do some free reading in my free time, but I do so many other things. I don't really have the ability to do that and then also not get paid. I do a lot of stuff for free in the community and stuff like that. I don't even think about it. I don't post it or anything, because that's not what I'm doing it for. I'm not, you know, and there's a saying that the Democrats have. This is the real Democrat thing. Don't give the charity unless you got the news station.
Yes, exactly.
So it's why am I doing it if I'm not, you know, like, and the Bible speaks about that. I wish I had the chapter and verse out right now, but it talks about that when you do that you're not doing it for righteous reasons. And it even talks about when you're praying, not to be all showy about your praying outside and stuff like that, because it's not for them. It's supposed to be for you. Exactly. You know, it's about. But I mean, it's about having your heart.
Very rare. It's very rare to see someone do something for charity without them dragging through or anything like that.
Well, let's post everything on the internet. And all that.
I gave 50 cents to a lot of them. Great.
You know, crazy. Speaking of which, tomorrow at what time is it? Oh, my other phone's over there. Tomorrow is the 22nd, right? Tomorrow's Tuesday. Yeah. Tomorrow, I want to say, you guys, please don't quote me on this time. Look it up. Check out Voices of Verona, or Voices for the Voiceless. For the Verona shelter. Yeah. Anyway, Voices of the Voiceless. I think that sounds right. Sounds
good.
Anyway, one of those. So you'll find it online. Okay, they do good work. It's just slipping my mind. I've been out all day, brains hot and everything, trying to hide. So but it's crazy. Did you see the picture of the dog with the slot? And a guy got up there at the last city council meeting, and he was like, "I know this picture is going viral or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's not really real because we cleaned that stuff up within the hour."
But it was still real.
He said, "No, but that's not the point he was making. Let me finish." So, but what he was saying is the problem is they don't have enough volunteers.
They don't. They're swamped.
They don't have enough volunteers. And they said that when people are volunteering, they're turning them away. So it's a very serious problem.
Yep.
And he's like, so while that might not be an issue, but it is an issue because we should be able to do more.
They don't have a vet now, so they got to take the dogs. They got to take the dog. You know, it's a lot of work for people.
So they were going against the what's the lady name? Shirley Green.
Oh yeah.
Who's apparently in charge of that. I thought she was in charge of something else. I don't know how they have all of these overlap. I bet you she does.
She does.
But I don't know what it is. If she does, I don't know. This is me. But the thing is that all of these different departments in the city, they all overlap and do stuff that you're like, why is that department doing that?
It's all bureaucrats.
So they're mad at her, and I guess they're holding her accountable for what the whole situation is. More power to you guys. You holding the people accountable for what it is. That's important. But tomorrow night, I want to say it's 5:30. I wish I had it in front of me. I'm going to try to find it before we get off this broadcast, so I can tell you. They're going to be doing a protest in front of City Hall. So I encourage you all, if you're listening and you're local, go out, join the protest for the animals, for the fact that the animals deserve clean facilities, for the fact that they need on-site vets, that they need more volunteers. They go and they speak, and they try to even get a county one, a county-wide system for the animal control done, but the county doesn't want it. They don't want to deal with it or even consider it. And I don't know if there's anything there. Maybe there's some funding that can be allocated for that or something. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I don't have a concept. But maybe these people should be at the table talking about this, because it's it's terrible. But that's what it is about at the end of the day.
That's all it's about. That protest is supposed to be about it. It's what, it's getting to the table. Like I said, have a voice. Not just, hey, we're gonna go protest, throw things, and stuff like that. I have no clue what our set goal is, but this one actually is set goal, because again, they want to get to the table, talk about things, try to get proven
voices of Verona Street.
Place, they don't have money for that, so it's insane.
Voices of Verona Street. They say speak up for the voices. So I'm conflating two different things together, but it's voiceless of Verona. So, and it says it's October 22nd, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 30 Church Street, Rochester, New York.
At City Hall.
Yeah. Right. So please, if you guys can, go out there, support Voiceless of Verona. They're out there trying to speak up and advocate for the horrible condition of the. I don't even know. Can you even call it animal shelter? Are they sheltering them? And then the guy that was telling the story up there, he's like, one day we had to kill like 60 dogs.
Oh God. Oh my God. I wish I could do that.
So, and then they're like, well, we're giving them, sometimes they give them away low or no cost or whatever the case. No, they need to be free. Give away the animals, give them away. Woo. Now, I'm not saying to give them away to bad homes or whatever the case is. But I'm saying, why are you trying to get this extra money? I got beef with the animal shelter. They killed two of my dogs. One was my dog, was my dog. The other dog was my friend. Okay, my dog was my friend also, but the other dog wasn't officially mine. He just came to me by way of somebody else. He had some issues with him and stuff like that. That's a separate story, a really heart-wrenching story that I'll tell you guys at some point. But they killed my dog, and it broke my heart, and I have never got over it. So what happened was my dog got off the chain, right? So at the time, my dog was like 11 years old. My dog is like 11. Who wants an 11-year-old dog? But somebody that loves it.
Right.
Okay. So, and I'm little, right? So, and I'm little, I think I might have been in middle school or whatever the case was. The dog been with me since I was about, I don't know, 5. You know what I'm saying? Like I had him since I was like 5 or 6. Like that was my road dog right there. You know, all puns intended, you know? Yeah. So, and he got loose. And he went they picked him up, and I went down there, and now we had the dog, right? Yeah. So, and they named him Ace, okay, at the pound, and they wouldn't give him back. They said because we didn't have the paperwork for it. They said the paper. Did we not describe the dog? Did I not come in telling you that I want the dog? That the dog is 11 years old, bro.
That's insane.
Like the dog is 11 years old, bro. And they killed my dog because they wouldn't give him to us because we didn't have the paperwork for it.
That's insane.
They killed him, bro. They killed him. I will never let that stuff go. Okay. I will never let that sugar cracker Krispies go. They need this. I can't listen. Like, and I tried, and I didn't have enough. Bro, it was some other stuff with that too. Okay. And at the time, the person that called himself my parent would not get the dog out, didn't want to pay the money to get the dog out. And I tell you, man, my little self, I tried so hard to get the money to
tried to raise the money to get the dog. They wanted like $150, and then they were tacking on stuff every day that he was there. And I'm in there crying, and I'm in school, and I got to go, and I'm trying to raise money and get to work and do yards and sell candy in school, whatever I can, and I just couldn't do it enough, and I couldn't get it in time. I couldn't get it in time, and I swear to everything that is holy, okay, if I had the chance to catch the people that are responsible for that, I would haul them before a military tribunal. Okay, like I would man, listen, I don't get very much feelings on a lot of things, man. That
be the same way. Someone killed my dog. It's
well, because he didn't even do nothing wrong. Now, and backstory on that, not more than a couple of weeks ago, he had saved my younger brother's life. Okay, wow. So there was a pit bull that had got loose that had come into our yard. My little brother was playing in the yard at the time. Okay, and he fought off the pit bull. You understand what I'm saying? And I had come out there, run out there, and the pit bull was fighting a dog, and I was beating the pit bull with the skateboard and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Get off my dog and stuff like that. Yeah. The dog, lucky I didn't have access to a knife at the time. That dog would have been cut up. Yeah. Okay, you don't mess with my. That's my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's my family. Like you understand? But my dog saved my brother, and now I'm getting a little personal. You understand what I'm saying? It's getting a little personal. And then this individual that claims to care wouldn't pay the money to get the dog out. I don't care, man. I ain't got to. I've been like, don't feed me. Get the dog.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Right. Look, I figured something out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I won't get gas for a couple weeks. I'll walk there.
Look, well, at the time I was little.
Kids.
You know, I'm not too little, 15. You know what I'm saying?
In this city, just look around.
Listen. So I'm like, this is crazy. So it was very, very, very upsetting. So please check out Voiceless of Verona and join in their protests tomorrow at 30 Church Street, that's City Hall in Rochester, 5 to 7 p.m. They're trying to fight to make improvements to the facility and everything that's going on there. But here's the deal. That level of activity and advocacy is stuff that we should be able to have from our elected officials. And people might say, oh, well, they do it in closed rooms and behind doors and stuff like that. Well, maybe it needs to be public. Yeah. Okay. So I encourage you, if you're listening to us right now, or if you're listening to us online and you're not subscribed to my YouTube, check out my YouTube, the Marcus C. Williams channel. I just put a video up there of me at City Council talking last week about the need for advocacy from them to our state level of government, because that's their job. And I'm like, you're not holding these people accountable publicly. We need them to be shamed publicly so the people know what time it is. And you're not doing that.
No, what they say?
Nothing.
What was the response?
Looking, there ain't no response. I mean, that was the same thing I told them last month, or maybe it was the month before. I said, I need y'all to have like press conferences once a month until they fix these horrible laws. Like, and nobody will speak up. There's one guy, the Patterson, he'll speak up sometimes. He'll speak up sometimes. But it's not enough. Where are other people at? Where's the freaking Stanley ain't about to do it, okay? Toss herself in the trash, she garbage. Pam Smith ain't about to do it, okay? Mary Lupien ain't about to do it, okay? And so that leaves us with Miguel, okay? And Miguel does a lot of work with Ibero and stuff like that. So he knows what it's like on North Clinton and what it's like over there on Clifford. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, bro, like, what's up? You know the problems that going on at La Marqueta, okay, over there and stuff like that. The person that does the operations for them the other day was just online complaining about it. They were talking about, listen, all the drugs and the crime over here. I'm trying to keep our vendors and stuff like that. But don't nobody want to be here because of all the drug and the crime. You know what I'm saying? It's all right there. So you see what's happening. You see what's going on, Miguel. We need that publicly. You need to advocate for that. And this isn't me getting on you or anything. This is just what it is. The same thing I told you before. Look, what I told you in public is the same thing I tell you in private, is the same thing I tell everybody else, because it's not anything that's hidden or a secret. Same thing, I say the same thing to Willie Lightfoot. I say the same thing to Lachey Harris. Now, these are people, and I say the same thing to Mitch Gruber, okay? These are people that I see are supposed to be our representatives. Represent. Word. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are serious issues. It's not about what your feelings are, what your thoughts are. You think the majority of the people out here want these people not to be arrested? I was talking to a lady today. She was like, man, they need to lock them all up. She said, I don't care. She said, I don't care if they ate. She said, I don't care if they ate. They all need to go to jail. It's crazy.
They are 8.
That's a direct. But that's what's happening. They are. They're 8, they're 10, they're 12. And it's just not. No, it's not. It's really not. Wasn't that one of them was 8 the other day?
Yeah.
Where they got caught them in the car and stuff. They ran into
like
was doing
imagine
the
that.
break-ins.
Imagine that. I'll say if you look here for an 8-year-old out of car, you're like, well, I mean, it's not. It's just insane to think about. But I mean, like I said, the people who were breaking into my nephew's car was 13, 14 years old. It's like,
But this is, and they refuse to hold them. They refuse to do anything about it.
nothing.
And we can't even talk about it.
No, we can't even talk about it. There's nothing. They're going home with their parents.
Bro, there is a law right now. Ooh, I'm glad that you took that off of me, that I can remember it. Let me pull the law up right now. If you guys live in New York State, y'all got to go check this. Go online, check this out. Okay, go online, check this out. Okay, where is it?
Remember, no,
I just shared it. I just shared it this morning. Okay, it is Assembly Bill, New York State Assembly Bill. Okay, it's Assembly Bill A8923. That is A8923A. Okay, 8923A bill. Okay, and essentially what it does, I found this bill this morning.
Yeah.
I was looking for something else. Okay, I was looking for another terrible bill, but this one popped up. This one popped up. So essentially what it does is, as you guys know, if you live in the Rochester area, there are a lot of people that are struggling because when they call the police, they can't get the police here because the police are all dispersed everywhere. I was watching the whole thing last night, and they're like, yeah, there are still 12 high priority calls on the west side. We need more police for the west side. Oh, we've got to send the police over to Lake. Oh, and then something, I don't even know what happened down at the beach. Apparently something happened down at the beach last night. And then we got, so all of these officers are all spread so thin. We don't have enough. You know, I really support our police hard because it's a tough job. Thank you guys for your service. If
Thank
you
you.
listen.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. It's so serious. But what happens now with this law is it says that if they catch a youth, you know, if they catch a youth, that they have to notify their parent or an adult or somebody to come get them, that they can't transport them.
No, they're not getting transported.
They can't transport them without them being notified. And then it's really weird because you got to read the whole thing, okay? And it basically essentially makes it so that they have to be released to somebody before they're even taken to jail. So that's insane. So now you mean that the police got to try to figure out the police, the officers, the people that are supposed to be stopping crime and helping people.
Yeah, now they're tied up.
Now they're tied up with this nonsense, trying to figure out. And you know they ain't going to tell. Man, have you ever dealt with these people?
Yeah, they're not
going to tell you who their parents are.
Fake names and everything.
You know, and then you can't run them in, right?
Yeah.
And you can't take fingerprints on them. Yeah. So how you gonna find out?
Right.
So now I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, you go and then somebody gonna be mad because somebody gonna pee or poop on themselves.
Right.
They're gonna have to.
They're gonna have to.
You're gonna be sitting there because this was I'm trying because you won't tell me who your parents are. And then how much? Let's just be honest. Let's say they had a good parent. Right. Let's say they had a good parent. I hope parents, but one of them that's able to actually come out and get them.
Yes.
Who is to say that this parent isn't in the middle of work and they can't come out?
Right. You're right, because I mean, there's the day in the summer. What's going on?
You understand what I'm saying? Who's to say that the parent isn't in a hospital? Who's to say that the parent doesn't have a wheelchair and has no ability to get out? So now, and the way that it reads is it doesn't have to be the parent.
Okay.
It can essentially be any adult.
There you go.
Okay, and it doesn't. And the way that it reads, it doesn't necessitate that it is an adult, which is even more concerning because you know what? Because this is law. This is law. So the law has to be very specific. When it's open and vaporous, that's when anything can happen. So that's a real serious thing. And I encourage you again. It says it's Assembly Bill A8923A. It says relates to procedures required for the custodial interrogation of children. But it's not children. It's anybody under the age of 18.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so let's be very clear about that. Would you like to know who are the sponsors of this bill?
I can only imagine.
The sponsors of this bill, and you can't make this stuff up. The sponsors of this bill are Sarah Clark, okay, Demond Meeks, my opponent, okay, Jen Lunsford,
yeah,
okay, and if I just forgot somebody, Harry Brunson.
I knew you were gonna say the same.
Okay, all of the ones for our area are on board with this bull job. Yeah. Okay, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me that this is the type of stuff that they're trying to put in play. And then, what if a parent gonna lose their job trying to pick up this child?
Exactly.
What if the parent don't want to pick up the child? Huh? Can we have that?
Yes, seriously, my dad would have been like, take him,
but this doesn't accommodate for such a situation. Okay, so these are serious things, and this bill is, I think it's about to be out of committee. So if they get in next year, and Lord prevent that. Okay, but if they get in next year, it gets voted.
So this bill passed.
So it hasn't
hit the floor yet, right?
It says it's on the floor.
Okay, it's on the floor.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's on the floor. Yeah, it looks like it's just went through 2 committees. I can't see completely what it is.
I mean, if it pays, those are the sponsors.
It's got, it's all the Democrats are the sponsors.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the
this
sponsors.
Is terrifying.
Sure.
You guys, so if you care about your community and you are a Democrat, man, I'm telling you, man, these people need to be held accountable. These people really need to be held accountable. And I want to remind you, my name is Marcus C. Williams. I'm running for the 137th New York State Assembly. And whether you're Democrat or you're independent, it doesn't matter. You can vote for me in early voting starting October 26th through November 3rd, or on election day, November 5th. And you do not need to change your party to vote for me, even though I am on the Republican and conservative line and you might be Democrat or independent. You can still vote for me. So vote Marcus C. Williams. And remember, you matter to me. Now,
hey, let me get one thing. I got she made a good point earlier. She said the media, just like they do with polls, will use that whole, there's this many people voting early, this many, to manipulate, you going out there voting. So you're like, oh, you go. So I would just want to correct myself when I said that was great. No Republicans outpace them. She's right, because the media will use numbers to manipulate the people.
It'll make people not want to go out.
Exactly.
So see, I don't need to listen. And I beat that horse about whether you're Democrat or independent. You can vote Republican without even changing your party. You can vote for some Democrats and you can vote for some Republicans at the same time. You can mix and match. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but I just spoke to a lovely 94-year-old lady. 94-year-old, still out there. She's doing some yard work. So, that's fantastic. Hey, you never know. It's like the New York Lotto. You never know. You never know where that money went either. So, but anyway, but I was talking to this 94-year-old woman, and she asked me what party I was. I told her I was Republican, and she's like, "Oh, I'm a Democrat, whatever." And I was like, "That doesn't matter in the election. You can vote for me anyway." She's like, "Oh, I can." Crazy. She's 94 years old, and she said that she votes every single year.
She goes down the Democrat side.
Yes, people, you gotta let other people know that whether you're Democrat or independent, you can vote
just
for Republicans or conservatives
without changing
your party.
Yeah,
you don't have to change. So there are a lot of people out there that don't know, and I try to explain this to our party, and I tell you that is a bad thing in our party, on the national level and on the local level. Bro, you got to be putting out commercials saying that if you are a Democrat or an independent, you can vote Republican and don't need to change your party. What is so hard about that? It's a very easy, simple message and straightforward. People aren't voting Republican because they don't know that they can, not because they don't want to.
Exactly.
So that's a very big issue.
When you have a 94-year-old saying that means for the last 50, 60, 70 years of her life, she's voted without the knowledge of the fact that she can vote for whoever thought she was the best candidate, thought was the best candidate. And again, you register for a party for primary purposes, for whoever you want to get the general election. Anyone you want. So remember that. Independent Democrat, vote for Marcus, vote for Chief Ambrero, vote for Tracy Victoria, vote for these people that are out there working their butts off to try to change things here and make things a little bit different for us in the city.
if you are local, man, we got some great local Republican candidates. Okay, I don't got no stuff to talk bad about any of them. Okay, and y'all know I like to talk.
Yeah.
So
we got good ones. We got some real good ones.
Yeah, we got some really good candidates this year, which is a shame because they're not getting the support that they need, honestly. And it's because people that care, that claim that they care, you guys, you got to get out, you got to help, you got to pitch in. People need donations, people need volunteers. Like I need help knocking doors, like I really do. So please go to my website, marcus4rochester.com, and definitely volunteer. But if you want to donate, please donate. I need some more cash.
Well, people think that people think it's just donating, but they don't
Yeah,
realize
no,
that they can donate their time too.
The time, people don't understand that largely that is very important, very, very important. And we can make a real difference. But to make a difference, we have to stand up and we have to speak up. It's not, nobody's going to come and save us. Nobody is
That
going
was the last frontier, folks. This is it.
This is
Nobody's
it.
coming to save us after this.
Nobody's coming to save us. You know, Mexico ain't coming to save America.
No,
Canada
this
ain't
is
coming
it.
to save
This is
America.
it. This is the last
This
place.
is it. This is it. You know, I heard a story, and I can't remember where I heard this story, but somebody was talking about that they had talked to somebody else from Cuba, you know, and maybe it was Reagan or somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a famous person. And he was like, and he was like, oh, he's like, I'm so glad that you were able to escape and be here or whatever. He said, no. He said, I'm so glad I had a place like America to escape to.
National Alvarez said that. We want to talk about it. Currency.
Is that what
Yes,
yeah.
Like about 4 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah. So, but it's and this is what we have to realize. If we don't stand up and fight for our nation and fight for our country, we're not going to have anything left. So it's time to speak up now. If you've been concerned about the impacts and what might happen to you, don't forget that. Rely on the Lord. Rely on your own strength. Because if we let this happen, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So with that, I'd like to tell you guys, remember, every Monday from 2:30 to 4 p.m. on WRFZ 106.3, listen to us on The Divide. We've got to hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, okay? And thumbs up, heart, all of that, okay? And get the message out to other people that we're here to talk about serious issues that we need to talk about and to encourage you to get active a little bit every day. Get out and participate in our republic to save our republic and to save our country. We love you guys. Remember, be blessed and be well. Stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action.
Look at these guys.
All right. Fantastic. I'll catch you guys later.